The Dutch doing it right by the victims who have arrived back in the Netherlands today. The first 40 victims of the 298 who were killed. Most of those deaths were Dutch, 193 Dutch citizens, most of any nation. There were others, though, from Malaysia, Australia, Indonesia, the UK, South Africa, Germany, Belgium, Philippines, Canada, and really the scale of this tragedy is we are only seeing the first 40 brought back, but to see all those hearses leave with those coffins and then see them being replaced with more hearses for more coffins really does bring it home. Those hearses headed to Hilversum, not far away from the Eindhoven military base, where the forensic work will begin, official formal identification, which the Dutch Prime Minister says will be a long process, perhaps taking months. There are many more bodies to be brought home. Australia, for its part, calls this Operation Coming Home, but that could apply for any of those other nations. Many more victims still to be brought back. And there are, sadly, probably victims still in those Ukrainian fields where the debris fell from the sky. Peter Golds is still with us, former Managing Director of the US National Transportation Safety Board. And despite the less than ideal, Peter, scenario of investigators getting there days after and after, by all accounts, wreckage has been picked over. What is the first thing that investigators do when they do get there safely?
Well, they will try and identify the 4 key pieces of the aircraft. They'll look to identify where the nose of the aircraft, the tail of the aircraft, and where the 2 wings are, and begin almost mapping the wreckage field. And what's important in an accident such as this is trying to find wreckage that came off the aircraft first, that may be separated from the main debris field. And that's why that will be difficult, because there are, it's unable to get aircraft, helicopters into the air to search the broad area. What came off first from the aircraft will identify where the missile struck, what kind of catastrophic event followed. So they'll have their hands full at first. But they will be able to solve this. And
that's a major difficulty, isn't it, when you have, obviously, the complication of hostile territory, but the plane, by all accounts and indications, having broken up in the air, and the debris field, there is a main debris field, as we all know, but there is wreckage over square kilometres.
That's correct. Yeah, and this will really put a test to the commitments of the separatists and the Russians, to their commitments to allow a full investigation. We need to get aircraft into the air over the accident site. My understanding is that 2 Ukrainian jets were shot down yesterday, not 30 miles from the accident scene. So this is a very active area. But what came off the aircraft first will help tell the story.
Yeah, exactly. As you point out, those reports of 2 Ukrainian fighter jets being shot down in that very area, which we're also following, and we will keep people appraised of any developments on that score. These 40 bodies still being loaded on the hearses, being given all due respect at last in the Netherlands. Peter, how long does an investigation like this last? I suppose you could say, well, as long as it does, but any indication of how long investigators would want to be at that site?
Normally, air investigations take anywhere from 9 months to a year and a half to complete. In this case, with such extraordinary attention, I think the countries involved are going to apply all of the resources necessary. But I think you can see you'll see a probable cause or determination within a year. But they will give periodic updates.